It was a good day for Mercy, and it was a strong night for Democrats.
At a Democratic National Committee event this afternoon, calling the midterm results extraordinary, saying the American people overwhelmingly support his agenda. Though he also says they want both parties to work together. In a written statement earlier today, he said he will oppose any effort to undo his agenda after lower inflation than expected in October, up 7.7% year over year. That is still near a 40-year high. But it raised hopes on Wall Street the Fed could tap the brakes on rate hikes. The Dow up more than 1,200 points today. Arizona's Republican candidate for governor, Carrie Lake, still expects to win.
I'm hoping that the propagandists out there and the fake news don't try to call it, because we need to wait until this big tranche of numbers is released in the coming days.
She and Secretary of State Katie Hobbs in one of several races that remain too close to call, also including the Arizona Senate race and Senate and governor's races in Nevada. An NFL team is accused of violating consumers' rights by hiding what it knew about workplace misconduct. D.C. Attorney General Carl Racine announcing the findings of his own investigation and a civil lawsuit against the Washington Commanders and owner Dan Snyder.
He directed his employees to create voyeuristic videos of partially clad cheerleaders from footage that the cheerleaders had no idea even existed.
His lawsuit also names the NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell. There are multiple ongoing investigations of Snyder and the team. In a statement to ESPN, the Commanders' counsel says the owners have apologized many times for an unacceptable workplace culture, but that the lawsuit repeats half-truths and lies, and they welcome the chance to defend the organization in court. America's listening to Fox News.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk. The facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
It's not the mass devastation of Hurricane Ian, but Tropical Storm Nicole is still leaving a trail across Florida after coming ashore as a rare November hurricane early today near Vero Beach along Florida's Atlantic coast. The storm surge doing damage in the Daytona Beach area.
It is creating sinkholes. Wow, as the water comes in, creating sinkholes on the famous boardwalk here in Daytona Beach. Literally, steel and concrete crushed and crumbled by the energy and power of this storm.
Fox Weather's Robert Ray, multiple homes collapsing in that area, beachfront properties left vulnerable by Ian. Nicole knocking out power to more than 300,000 on its way across the state to the Gulf of Mexico. President Biden plans to have his first in-person meeting with China's President Xi on the sidelines of the G20 summit next week in Indonesia, amid growing concerns about a possible invasion of Taiwan.
The U.S. Navy's top admiral recently warned China could launch an invasion of Taiwan within months, words echoed a few days ago by Taiwan's president. Some Republican lawmakers, like Congressman Mike Gallagher, want to see the Biden administration deploy short and intermediate range missiles to protect Taiwan and ward off any potential invasion. The head of the U.S. military's nuclear arsenal recently warned China is quickly modernizing its own nuclear forces. It will have 1,000 nuclear warheads by the end of the decade, and the U.S. is falling behind. Now, David Ignatius reports that Chinese President Xi is convinced our two nations are heading towards war.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the White House. The White House says Taiwan will come up at the president's meeting. A jury just awarding Oscar-winning filmmaker Paul Haggis, ordering him, I should say, to pay at least $7.5 million to a woman accusing him of rape in a Me Too era case. Haggis, best known for writing Oscar winners $1 Million Baby and Crash, his accuser, a publicist who met him while working at movie premieres. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. It's the last of the warm ones for a long, long while. Matter of fact, record and near record setting warm for the day today. And on the flip side, opposite side of the spectrum, big change to winter-like cold around here, a cold wave weather pattern, and perhaps at least a couple of weeks of the same. And propensity for a little light moisture from time to time. That'll be in the form of tomorrow a sprinkle and perhaps even a dash of light snow back in the forecast around here at some point next week. In the meantime, windy and warm for the day today, already off and running with a mild start to the day. Record and near record setting warm to about 75 across the area. South wind 15 to 25 and gusting. Increasing clouds tonight 46. Tomorrow partly sunny, turning windy and much colder. Sprinkle chance early and late. Temperature to about 49 mid-morning and falling to the 30s by evening time. Low tomorrow night of 26. Windy and much colder for the day on Saturday. Kickoff temperature about 35, 36 degrees. More cold weather on Sunday and next week too. For Steve J. Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay. It's showtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Pipes is writing down a lot of stuff. I'm just going to go from the gut. And joining us now, Coach Bielema.
Josh Whitman joining us now.
You get to say all the cool name drops.
Do it.
Brad Underwood, our guest.
College hoops.
How do you lose to Jackson State?
Call up every single person in the media that didn't put Kofi first team All-American. And I don't know, just play like clown noises.
I want to bet the Bears.
Oh, Michael Porter Jr. has been good, but he thinks the earth is flat, so I can't pick him.
Oh, boy.
Throw it up to Kofi, and he's just going to tear the rim off.
How is he so good? All right, Hans, I'm going to mute you for a while.
Okay.
Oh, there's a timeout on the court!
So what we want to do is build a same-game parlay that will win all of us some money.
Maybe Rondale Moore could beat Cooper Kupp, but he's not. Is it Instagram?
Yeah.
Is that what IG means?
I think you have to win the Big Ten title to win Big Ten Player of the Year.
Woohoo!
Wow, what a bad take.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. What a beautiful day. It is The Drive with Tay and Piper. I am Lonte. Derek Piper is here. So is intern Kyle. So he will be here during the day, and maybe you'll hear from him, maybe you won't. It literally is unbelievable, the weather, and then it's going to turn in a hurry. So I haven't looked. I mean, Greg Solya just said it. I mean, the cold weather's coming. But, man, it is hard to argue with the weather we've had the last 3 weeks, especially during the week. Now, what sucks about that is that all of us are working or in school or whatever, and we don't get to enjoy it as much. And then the weekend rolls around. And, of course, I know because I did it for 10 years. I worked weekends, so I understand there's others that do have days off during the week and work weekends. But certainly the weekends then turn either brutally windy or brutally cold. And that's what's going to happen, although I wouldn't call 38 degrees brutally cold. I've been in a lot worse conditions in central Illinois. So I think 38 is
Just trying to frame the minds for Saturday. You don't want any reasons people not to show up for Illinois and Purdue. I get it.
I'm going to have to wear jeans. That's not good.
First time of the season?
No, I actually wore them. It was cold one other game, and I came in jeans, but I hated every second of it. I hated every second of it, and now I'm going to be in jeans all day Saturday. Maybe when the game gets done and we get done tailgating, I'll flip to shorts, and then maybe we'll find an establishment to eat some chili or something. That might be the way to do it. All right, we have a busy show. Brett Bielema met with the media today. He's got about 11 minutes. I want you to hear all that. It was good stuff as he gets his team ready to go with Purdue. We'll do that coming up here soon. Also, Luke Goody, and just to be transparent, of course, Luke Goody joining us each week. And Brad Underwood called a practice for tonight. So once again, trying to sabotage our interview with Luke Goody. But you know what? He doesn't know that we can go behind his back and get this thing taped. And we did. And I'm kidding because I doubt Brad Underwood even realizes that Luke Goody is on with us.
I'm sure he doesn't.
He's probably like, oh, you are good.
But he even made sure, in case he did,
yes,
that while we were going to tape at 3:30, because of his presser at 3, I couldn't be a part of the taping. So sorry, or you're welcome. My questions are not going to be involved. It's going to be a one-on-one Luke and Lon.
Luke and Lon.
Luke and Lon.
Yeah, it's kind of a cute thing, isn't it? No, look, we need your questions. So we'll get those next week. But certainly Luke Goody is so good, and we just got done. He and I just finished the interview. So we'll run that at 5:05. And Luke is so good that you just automatically can come up with easy questions for him because he takes it and rolls. And I'll tell you right now, it was the one thing that I wondered, and I still wonder a little bit, especially when he starts playing or we get nitty-gritty, how much insightfulness are we going to get out of him? But he had some great comments about R.J. Melendez and what that was like after the game. I asked Luke if Brad Underwood has changed at all this season. He had a great answer for that. I asked him just in general, what's it like not to be able to play, obviously, but to get out there. And he's like, man, it's weird. But he kind of took a leadership role. And the other thing I asked him, Derek, is, hey, if you've ever dreamed of coaching, this is kind of your chance to see it from their level, and he had a great answer to that as well. So I think you're really going to enjoy the interview with Luke Goody as we get around to that. And, again, we'll play that at 5:05.
Look forward to it.
You were with Brad Underwood today, and there was a couple of different announcements he made, including some bling and some banner. Bling and banner, right? That's coming up. Is that coming up tomorrow?
Tomorrow night. Yeah,
Sweet.
Bling and Banner is something that they've got rolling here the last couple of years.
Yes,
and it's
they do.
Good to keep that around if you possibly can. But the Big Ten regular season title banner will be raised tomorrow night before the game at 7:15. It says fans are encouraged to arrive early between 7:15 and 7:30 for a pregame ceremony to raise the banner. Team members will get rings for the Big Ten championship, co-champions, but
that's awesome.
Call them Big Ten champs, along with Wisconsin, and a chance to celebrate that. And Trent Frazier is coming back from Serbia.
Wow.
Brad mentioned today a 13-hour flight that Trent's going to embark on and make sure he's here in Champaign for that ceremony.
That kid is awesome.
And then go back out. Alfonso Plummer is expected to be there. He's playing in Mexico City professionally.
Okay.
Kofi, who's been here the last 5 days or so.
He was at the game, right, Monday.
He was. Decided to stay, and he's going to – well, it's been more than 5 days. He got in town last Friday, so almost a week. He'll be here tomorrow night as well before he goes to Japan. It's nice to see some players that have a pro career afterwards. I know that NBA is the ultimate goal, but we've seen it with Dion, we've seen it with Corey Bradford, a lot of alums of the past that were really, really good players then have nice careers overseas too. So those guys making their way back, and then DeMonte Williams.
That's awesome.
Taking that trip from Peoria to Champaign another time to be here as well. So cool moment for those guys. I think it's cool for the current members of the team. Of course, Coleman and RJ, Luke, guys that were a part of that team and contributed to winning that championship, a cool moment too. But for the new guys to see what...
No doubt. This is what you're expected to do.
To see what that looks like, to see the celebration for it, and see the opportunity in front of them that they can make their mark as well.
I never hung a banner, did you?
I hung a lot of pennants in my room. You know, the pennants, you could call them banners or pennants.
So if I go to Centennial High right now, I'm not seeing any teams that have Derek Piper's name on it.
No, you will not. You'll see Piper. That was my brother that won a state title over there. I was part of the student section that year. I don't think we got a banner or anything for that. But
stupid brothers. But yeah, I'm the same way. Great. Same way down at VG. There's maybe like a date of when we maybe won a regional. That's it though. So for this team, I mean, forever. Every time they come back. And you know a guy like Trent Frazier, who obviously is doing his thing now internationally and will do that for a while, but you know a guy like Trent Frazier is always going to be a guy that hangs around this program. I mean, you look at a guy like Corey Bradford, you mentioned his name. Corey loves coming back. And he's been gone for a long time. He was playing. Of course, we had him on the show over the last 12 years, but he was always in some different part of the world and was always cordial enough to come on with us. He loves doing it. And now that he's back, last year he was almost like an assistant coach. He was here so often. So I think Trent's going to be one of those guys. You're going to see him really hang around this program quite a bit. And there's not one alum that's not going to love, or one fan that's not going to love seeing Trent Frazier. And the idea that he's flying 13 hours one way and then getting back and flying 13 back, that is a 26-hour commitment on a plane. That says something about Trent Frazier, but does it surprise you when you knew a kid came in, coach immediately is gone, sticks with the next coach, and all he does for the next 5 years is just absolutely battle and start and shoot and do everything he could do to get this program to where it was back to where it needs to be. I know not alone, but certainly had a huge hand in getting Illinois basketball back to where we, the fan, expects it to be.
Yeah, him and DeMonte invested
no doubt
as much as anybody.
6 years or 5? I don't even know.
5 years.
5, okay.
Took a lot of losses, a lot of tough battles there early on, took their lumps for sure, and stuck with it, like you said. And we've talked about it, deservingly so, over and over and over again, but he should take a lot of pride in seeing that thing go up there and getting his ring and taking that back over to Serbia. And I'm sure no one's going to know Illinois basketball over there. They're probably getting accustomed to it because they're loving them some Trent Frazier based on what I've seen on Twitter with some of his highlights. I pulled up his stats before the show. 18 a game, 45% from three. He's bucket-getting Trent over there, and that's
I love it.
Certainly awesome. But a great ambassador for the program and will be for years to come. And I think that there's no doubt about it. Once his playing career is over, I'm sure, especially if Brad is still here, he'll definitely be one that frequents Champaign. And, yeah, feel great for Trent and all those guys.
It's going to be awesome. It will be cool. Kansas City. I don't even know. What's their official name?
You used to call them UMKC, but now they're just Kansas City. I don't know.
Kansas City. Here I come. Isn't that the Kansas City? I'm sure Brad made him sound elite.
Oh, he did.
Today. I mean,
he made him sound like they're the tallest team in the country.
What kind of All-Americans are they bringing in tomorrow night?
Well, they have 2 veteran guards that put up some good points. Good points. Good production in the point category last night against LSU. They just played last night against Adam Miller and company. It was actually a closer game than expected because UMKC lost their opener to Lincoln College. Wasn't even a D1 team.
Out of Illinois, Lincoln College?
No,
that's closed now, I think, even.
Maybe it was not. Lincoln of Nebraska.
Oh, maybe Lincoln of Nebraska. Okay.
Lost on Monday to a non-D1 team. You're like, oh, boy. And then they turn around and go to LSU. It was 74-63.
Wow.
They hung in there and made it a game, but they had 2 of their senior guards combined for 34 points.
That's good for Illinois.
Yeah.
I like where you're going right there.
Some young point guards, obviously on Illinois side, facing some vets before you get and see Tiger Campbell next week of UCLA and some of Adam Flagler on Baylor if you were to play them. So there's some big tests coming up. I get where you're going on that. I think that is going to be a nice test. I know they defensively throw out a lot of different looks.
Okay.
They're going to press. They're going to play zone. They're going to just try to be disruptive and unpredictable, and that will test Illinois' offensive cohesion of being on the same page. Okay, they haven't seen zone yet, I imagine. Maybe they did it in the Kansas scrimmage a little bit, but a chance to adjust to that and understand how they're going to pick apart that thing for a team that's still, of course, learning how to play together. And they do have size. Now, Brad said they're one of the tallest teams he's seen in a long time. I looked up on Ken Palm, their tallest dude's 6'9". So I kind of laughed a little bit at that, but they do have a good amount of size in that they go 6'4", 6'5", 6'7", 6'9", 6'9".
That's pretty impressive.
In their starting lineup. So there is a lot of positional size. It's not the 7 foot. It's not Zach Edey 7'4", but the fact that you're going to see 4 and 5 man that are 6'9", and even a 3 guy on the wing at 6'7", and they have another 6'9" guy off the bench. So across the board, they have a lot of size, similar to Illinois, who's obviously transitioned into having more size at different positions, not just the 5.
I was going to say, this will be not talent-wise, but look in the mirror and see yourself kind of against a team like this. And what's the one thing that Brad and we've talked about a lot in the idea that with this lineup now, with this team he has now, it's positionless, right? Anybody could guard anybody for the most part. And this will be a good test to see that, right? So, I mean, you might be checking a 6'7" guy, and the next thing you know, you're screened, and all of a sudden you're on a 6'9" guy and then a 6'4" guy. And I think this might be a good example of that and being able to do that. And you're going to see teams like this, right, that have not necessarily huge size like a Zach Edey or whatever from Purdue, but obviously you're going to see teams that have good wings. I do like the idea of veteran guards because while they may not rate with the Sky Clarks and Jaden Epps and Sincere Harris's in terms of rankings, you know when they're in their like third, fourth year, they got some tricks up their sleeves, and they're not going to be worried about coming in here and playing Illinois. So, Illinois should win by 20, but it will be nice to kind of stare down, if you will, a team that kind of looks like you in terms of height and then also get a chance for these rookie guards essentially to go up against some vets.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that when you play a team like Quincy or even Eastern, who doesn't have maybe on the wing the same size, if Terrence Shannon's on a guy that's 6'3" or 6'4", that's going to be a big advantage for him. So to play against some like size, and I think that for a team that's switching everything, especially when Coleman's on the floor, that it could test some of those decisions for Illinois to switch. When do you want to switch Sky Clark onto 6'9", and how do you adjust to that? Okay, in the EIU game, there were times where Sky would get on Jermaine Hamlin or Kyle Thomas, their 5-man, and Meyer would come off the wing, switch on to the big, and then Sky would go to the perimeter, which will be probably the case anyway, because if you have a taller guy on the wing, you'd rather have him try to shoot over Sky versus a post man just back him down. But if your choices are, okay, he's on 6'9", and then I can come off my 6'9" guy for you to guard that 6'9" guy, there could be, you would imagine, some scheming on UMKC's side to say, let's play into their switches. Let's try to get some size mismatches and utilize those, and we'll see how that looks. And speaking of how it looks, this is an all-name team for UMKC. They have twins. I imagine freshman twins, one named Precious, one named Promise.
Oh, okay.
They also have Raquandis Mitchell and Shamari Allen. Those are their two guards. And then Alan David Umbeka in their lineup as well. So I think that if Tim Sinclair's on the call, we're going to have to – he's probably getting his studying in, I would imagine.
Good luck to Tim. We're going to have him on one of these days. But I don't know how he has time to do that. I have no idea how he would have time to do that, because normally he's traveling from one state to the other, to one pro event to the other, to a college event, back to a pro event, and doing this and doing everything he does with the PA. So, but we'll have to have Tim on. Be a good test for Tim coming up tomorrow. Was he at the first game?
He wasn't.
That's what I thought. I didn't think
might have been playing that night.
I didn't think I heard his voice the first game, so maybe he's back this week. Or I'm sorry, tomorrow, for the game. 8 p.m. tip.
Of course.
This is another, we'll be able to watch it, I think. Or is this one of those?
I think, the only Big Ten streams are Quincy and Lindenwood.
Okay.
So I believe it's on Big Ten Network.
Okay, sweet. All right, we will talk more about this game, obviously, as we go along today and tomorrow. And by the way, you can come watch us talk. You can always come watch us talk. Kyle does. You can come here to Philo, to the center of the universe. We have a beautiful couch. It's comfortable. You can sit on that couch and watch us. Now, you can't watch me because I'm hidden by a bunch of computers, but you can see Derek. You can see Kyle, and you can come do that. But
you don't
tomorrow,
need to do that.
I mean, you can't really – there's no, beer to get here. But at Pia's tomorrow night, there is. And you can come join us there. There's not only beer, there's food. There's whatever you want. There's pop. You name it, Pia's has it. We're going to be there from 4 to 6 tomorrow. I'm excited about that. It'll be our last show during the football season, obviously with Illinois playing their last home game against Purdue, and then on the road to finish up the year at Michigan and at Northwestern. I did see a couple of bowl projections today, including one having Illinois playing Alabama. Let's go. I mean, why not? Would you rather, if you were a fan and you were thinking of going to a game, but Florida is tougher, obviously, would you rather Illinois play in the Music City in Nashville where you can drive 5 hours, or would you rather they play in Florida and you just try to make it down to Tampa? You know my answer.
You'd rather go to Tampa.
Oh, I mean.
I think you want them to go to the best bowl game possible,
you do.
I think.
Yes.
Now, I get it if you're not going to make the commitment to go to Florida, but Nashville would be a lot easier of a trip, more convenient, more affordable probably.
Yeah.
I would get that. A drive versus a flight, maybe not.
I'm flying down next week to Florida for $180 round trip.
Okay.
I mean, Allegiant gets it done when it comes to that stuff in terms of flying into Tampa or St. Pete Beach. So I don't know. I'm not even trying to question you. I don't know. It might be cheaper to fly down. Now, you won't have a car, but, there's ways around that.
Uber?
Yeah, there's Uber. Or if you're on the beach, they have free beach rides. You just tip the driver. Of course, the stadium's not on the beach. Raymond James in a little bit. But I've been there 4 or 5 times. I wouldn't mind going back there, watching Illinois and Bama. Let's go. Or Illinois and Florida.
Are you going to start the We Want Bama chant from the Horseshoe on Saturday?
That would be fun. I might start with, we want the Wolves.
Yeah.
Let's go, Michigan. You don't want anything to do with us. Well, we'll see, though. That might.
Well, that'll be played in the locker room in Ann Arbor next week.
Great, yeah. They're like, who said that? Who's that dude? It will be fun, though, at Pia's tomorrow. So come out and join us. I think we're going to be inside. I don't know exactly the weather tomorrow. I'll have. I know Greg Solier just said that, and then I kind of forgot to listen. So I'll listen next hour when we play Greg and kind of listen to what we got tomorrow.
You know who we should try to get to Pia's?
What's that?
It's probably not going to happen, but as someone on the text line, 217 says, Bruce Weber making
Oh, that's right.
his return to Champaign to be on the call tomorrow night on Big Ten Network.
Thank you.
Do you think he'd come out and hang out with us?
You think he was ever at Pia's?
I don't think so.
I doubt it. I mean, Bruce wasn't like, he didn't mind that. I think he'd probably go have a glass of wine or something, or maybe a beer or whatever. I mean, isn't he from Milwaukee or something?
I think so.
I mean, those guys, you grow up.
I'm not questioning his ability to drink a beer.
Well, he might come out to Pia's. Maybe we need to reach out. I never thought of that. Totally didn't even think about that. That would be very cool to get Bruce there. Well, we'll work on that. We'll effort Bruce Weber at Pia's tomorrow. That will be fun, though. Either way, we'll be at Pia's from 4 to 6. Come out and join us. I'm just going to tell everybody right now the warning. I have to leave immediately after the show. So do you. You've got a game to cover. I have to get to a basketball showcase or something for Andrew. So I've got to leave. I can't stick around and have a cold one or two with everybody that usually comes and watches. I apologize, but tomorrow the dad duty kicks in. But we will be there, and that's going to be fun. Speaking of Illinois football, Brett Bielema met with the media today. Illinois getting ready to face a Purdue team that really had played some really good football, and then all of a sudden the last 2 weeks, they kind of just have stubbed their toe against Wisconsin and Iowa. Kind of those two teams that every other team in the West tries to get over, and Illinois finally did this season, while everybody else is having problems with them, including Purdue. And we'll hear from Brett Bielema, hear what he has to say on this Boilermakers team. Don't forget at 5:05, Luke Goody will join us, and we've already taped it. Luke and I did, but a great interview with Luke Goody after Game 1 in the books, Game 2 coming up tomorrow night. You'll get a kind of an insight to Illinois basketball through Luke Goody, and we'll do that at 5:05. All right, if you want to weigh in, 359-2255. Obviously, people already are on the U of I Lightning Lake text line, 217-359-2255. You can follow us on Twitter at The Drive 93.5. I'm at Lante, ESPN CU.
I'm a D Piper 247. Our podcasts are on all platforms: iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can also go to tayandpiper.podbean.com. Stream us live at cvj.com, cvjay.com, and you can watch us live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter. Just search Tay and Piper or The Drive 93.5.
Hear from Coach B next, The Drive.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Carl works every day to improve the health of community members across the region, and it would not be possible without team members like Dwayne Linton, a nationally certified nurse in the emergency department at Carl Foundation Hospital.
I work with a team of people who really care about what they do and are very flexible and adaptive in rapidly changing critical situations, and I would trust any of them at any time.
If you're looking for an opportunity to serve your community like Dwayne in a supportive environment, visit carl.org/careers.
If you want a steak, I mean a steak, prepared the way you want it, you've got to go to Long Branch Steakhouse. Hi, it's Jay Lehman. It's been over a year since I was introduced to Donnie at the Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford. And when I want a great steak, that's where I go. And the sides, the Brussels sprouts, the mac and cheese, and the salad with Donnie's secret frog dressing. Long Branch Steakhouse in downtown Gifford. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9 p.m. There's always room for the Long Branch Steakhouse.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
It's a totally Christmas winter wonderland at Prairie Gardens. Ornaments, decor, wreaths, garlands, and so much more, all ready now, along with brand new savings. This week, save 50% off all Christmas bushes. Select large Christmas candle jars are $6.97. All furniture, save 10%. Plus, find your perfect artificial Christmas tree with the largest selection around and very best tree guarantee at Prairie Gardens, your Christmas destination for over 50 years.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Illinois football is back. Shop at Game Day Spirit this fall and gear up to support your Fighting Illini football team. With great football designs and brand new apparel from top brands, they're the one-stop shop to get everything you need this football season. Shop with them at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campustown, and online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
What kind of bedside manner would you like your doctor to have? At Roof Doctors, they make sure you feel good about what they can do for you. They make sure they answer all of your questions and feel comfortable about whatever procedure your roof needs. Roof Doctors has helped customers for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy have helped make lives better in our community with their generosity and kindness. Roof Doctors is a company you can trust if you need anything done on your roof. Roof Doctors in Urbana, they make you their #1 priority.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it's important to work with experienced agents. Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at RE/MAX Realty Associates have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at RE/MAX. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com. PDR Automotive in Urbana has been providing quality auto repair service for almost 50 years. Trusted by AAA Motor Club, PDR employs ASE certified technicians that use the latest in diagnostic equipment. They offer nationwide warranties and are even authorized to perform vehicle maintenance that won't void your factory warranty. Check them out 24/7 online at pdrauto.com. When you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Saturday, March 25th, it's Cody Johnson and Friends, live in concert at State Farm Center.
You're gonna love somebody, hold them as long and as strong and as close as you can, until you can.
Tickets are on sale now for Cody Johnson and Friends.
I guess all I'm saying is forgive me if I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still learning to be human.
With special guest Randy Hauser.
Let me show you how country feels.
Cody Johnson and Friends, live at State Farm Center, Saturday, March 25th.
On my way to you. On my way to you.
Tickets for Cody Johnson and Friends are on sale now. Get yours at statefarmcenter.com, the Illinois ticket office, and by phone at 866-ILLINI-1.
Hey, Illini fans, it's Mike Greenberg. Catch Lon, Tay, and Derek Piper weekdays from 4 to 6 right here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5, Lonte, Derek Piper, Kyle Tosk, the intern. You'll hear from Luke Goody next hour, get his thoughts. Pipes and I will keep talking about Illinois basketball, also Illinois football. Brad Underwood. No, Brett Bielema. Now I'm getting them confused. They're both coaching ranked Illinois teams, so it's a good time to be an Illinois fan. But Brett Bielema met today with the media to kind of catch up on things as they get ready for Purdue this Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Here's Coach.
All right. Obviously, excited to get back on the field, a variety of reasons. But, you know, a couple significant things. Our senior day, some of these guys I saw, somebody take a shot at Marquez and Poucho the other day, that those guys have been through a couple of these now, especially Pouch and Mike. It's kind of neat to see that happen again. And some guys that I think are going to go through it, to be quite honest, that, you know, don't know quite yet what next year lies, all right? So we'll have that. In addition to that, I'm sure you saw last night, military appreciation. Jake Rosh, our equipment manager, got together and designed an eye emblem to kind of give a little significance to our military service, have several of our players that have military background families to honor them. So a lot of that great going on, but the bottom line is to line up a Division West opponent, to line up against Purdue. Rematch number 6 for us, a game that we unfortunately weren't able to win a year ago, a chance for us to come back and play them and see exactly where we are. So excited for a lot of reasons, but the chance to get back into Memorial and play a game at 11 o'clock is number one.
You have injury updates on guys like Taz?
Yeah, Taz is cleared. Taz practiced today, 100%. Really, the only other one, Seth Coleman isn't 100% cleared yet, and Josh McCray will be a game time decision.
You said some other guys might go through senior game. Do you know who yet?
Yeah, for the most part, it's all the seniors that we significantly know, but there'll be a couple others. I just kind of want to let them handle that moment. Don't want to make it a story before it's a story. But, you know, I think you get to this point in your career, sometimes guys, I've been a little bit surprised. Some guys that, you know, obviously the easy one is guys that may move on and play to the next level. But then you got some guys, I think this whole COVID bonus year, like, allows guys to have a year, but sometimes I think now guys have played a long time, and sometimes it's an opportunity to move on to the next phase of their life, and I think we got a little bit of everything going on.
Coach, you got this year that's been really nice year. How do you keep this going beyond this year? How do you make it not be a one-hit wonder?
Well, it's a great question. I would really say by week 1 and 2, myself, Pat Hamilton, and our recruiting and personnel department have been meeting a lot about, you know, potentially guys that we maybe before the season unforeseen are going to be leaving us. One of the critical mistakes I made at Arkansas was I lost 3 juniors going into what I thought was going to be a group of players coming back. Now, they were really good players, high draft picks, guys that played in the league for a long time. That was before the portal world, right? So, you know, when I was at Wisconsin, I had really, I believe, only 2 players. J.J. Watt, P.J. Hill were only 2 players that left me ahead of their time. Okay. We had a culture there that kind of bred good players into their last couple of years, and they'd always kind of come back for more. So Arkansas, that was a very big, significant part of my last year there, was literally the best player at 3 different positions that wasn't there when you were counting on it. So I've really tried to forecast, you know, guys that are in that position here. If I lose them, we have to have a plan to replace them, all right? Not only with our current roster, but because of the portal world, we can have a little bit easier access to things. We've done some quantitative measures. You know, last year a guy for us, Kendall Smith, is a guy that actually jumped in the portal, if you remember, and came back into our program in January, and it's been really fun for me the last month when those scouts come through. One of the guys that they ask the most about is Kendall Smith, right? A guy that's playing the best football of his career because he decided to come back. We lost a number of players, and we've kind of done a quantitative study, guys that left our program who have gone to other places, and put it in front of them if we have that same situation, like what those players have accomplished after they left us compared to the ones that stayed here. So that kind of all plays into roster development that is my responsibility as a head coach. It's something that can't be reactive. It's got to be proactive, and I think that's going to be the key. And then just continue to build. We do a 10-minute Devo walk at the beginning of practice. I don't know how many people are doing that. We got a Devo lift program during the 8-week window here before they leave for Christmas break that we are developing our younger players. So there's a lot of things happening every day in our building to sustain success.
Coach, you've been more efficient offensively when you've been able to get the running game going a little bit. Would you like to be able to force them to put the ball in the air 40, 50 times?
You know, I think for us, defensively, what we have to do is do the things we do well, minimize our weaknesses, and then when we're playing an opponent, I think Purdue is a different preparation than last week. Not to give away game plans or tip anything, but I think you know, Purdue has been able to win the game that they've won this year through maybe non-Purdue ways. So they've done it both ways. They've done it with their traditional way, but this year they added the run game in a couple games that were big factors. So what we have to do is get to Saturday to see how the game plays out and execute.
Ramos kind of established himself as a trick play guy, in this league. Is there a way to prepare for that, or you just have to trust your guys' discipline?
Unforeseen, there are certain things you can tell. Certain receivers are right-handed versus left-handed. You always want to make them aware of those things. Jones, because he's now in this program, I think you also have to look at what he's done in the past. Any opponent we're playing, we always obviously trick play research them, but also any of their players that have done anything previously if they've been part of a program as a portal player. And then also just projection, any coordinator, of course, him and his brother kind of run the show, so they've always been tied together. But yeah, we do an extensive research on anything that they've shown in the past and forecast for the future.
The extension for Barry announced yesterday.
Yeah.
What was the process like behind that? When did that maybe start?
Yeah, so it really started when I was hired with Josh. We had a base pool that started with my original staff and talked about, where it was. But, if you have a good coach, Coach Fry always used to say, right, if you have a good coach, you can't keep him long enough. If you have a bad coach, you can't get rid of him quick enough, right? And once we had a situation where last year you realized what we were doing defensively, Josh came to me about the extension for Ryan, and that set the precedent for where we are this year. Going into bye week 1, we sat down, talked about our 2 coordinators. It's always, to me, it starts with the coordinators and then it permeates down. So we began discussions with Barry and Ryan. Barry's obviously was agreed to and talked to. We're still working with Ryan. Ryan is obviously a very accomplished coach, and I think he knows and understands how much we love him and what he's done. It's just there's a lot of irons in the fire with that one that we got to continue to work forward. Our strength staff, our assistant coaches, anything I can do to keep the good ones around us, we got to be able to do it.
I mean, you made the change after year 1 at offensive coordinator. I mean, was it best case scenario you'd be in a position to give the new one an extension in year 1? I mean, just for it to work out like that?
You know what? Each guy is probably a little bit different. I get the question, but to be quite honest, a lot of times your beginning salary at a place you come from is based on where you've been, right? And Barry was coming as a coordinator from UTSA, came into the position here. We had hoped and understood what we'd like to do, but I think by week 1, I knew where we were heading offensively. I still think we're in a really good upward trajectory. Just the way our players interact, the field, the vibe, recruiting has been a huge spike for us offensively to get our hands on playmakers that I think can fit this offense very, very well. And I know what Barry's invested in. I know how he thinks. I know how he coaches. That was a driving force, and fortunately for us, Josh and administration sees the same things.
I know you've talked about Barry's impact in the building, but what has his impact been in maybe some of the recruiting pitches to some of those skill positions that you just mentioned?
Barry's as you guys have gotten to know, very dry, very direct. Him and Taylor Reed is a player that used to play for me at Arkansas that's here. They've done some point of attack tapes, some different things that are very specific for players. If you can project them, hey, this is the play that you run in high school, it's pretty good, and now all of a sudden he sees it live in our version, right, and he sees the carryover. Sometimes the power of visual proof is really, really powerful. Barry's done that big time since we've been here. Certain in-state prospects, out-state prospects. Hey, this, especially for us in the throw game, right, to have the receivers have the numbers they're at right now really gets wide receivers in our target area and in our top targets for recruiting. They understand we're not just verbiage here, we're not just projecting. This is the reality of where we're at. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's 3 players from UTSA that are now in the Blitnikoff too, right? Like that's not a common thing. Those are things Barry's helped recruit, develop. So not only where he's been, but where we're at, and more importantly, where our guys are going.
Are you happy with what you've seen in the red area in practice this week?
What's that?
Are you happy with what you've seen in the red area in practice this week? You made some strides?
Absolutely.
Is this system with Barry, what has he done to give you as much confidence so quickly in his tenure?
Barry's very confident. He's got his offense. What I loved, and I've said this a couple times, when I became my first coordinator title, right? I moved from Kansas State as a co-coordinator, and I went to Wisconsin, and Coach Alvarez said, put in your defense, right? You're going to be in a room with nobody else. Nobody else in that room knew our defense. All those coaches had worked for Coach Alvarez and that staff for a long time. He wanted me to teach those guys our defense. And I believe we were in game week 3, and we were the number 1 defense in the country. It went from 85 to 1. And I think that was a big moment for me to realize that what I was preaching and teaching, I've talked to the coaches who then could teach it to the players. Our starting free safety was a guy by the name of Jimmy Leonard, right? So we had good players as well. But Barry came in right away, taught our coaches. We didn't make any transition anywhere else. Obviously, Ben because of his illness. There was a little bit of transition, but Barry came in and taught our staff. That staff then permeated into our players. Our players and our coaches were excited. I think game plan meetings right now, red area, first down, third down. It's fun to walk into those meetings and see the interaction and the input. But Barry is the guiding light. He makes the decisions, he makes the calls, and he accepts that responsibility, good and bad.
It's been such a resurgent year for your program. How would you characterize the role that Chase has played and what he's meant to that resurgence?
Chase Brown. Yeah, Chase, you know, it was kind of interesting. So obviously we knew Barry's extension was getting released, and they asked for a quote, and I think naturally you go to a quarterback, and Tommy would have been great, right? But I'm like, go to Chase, right? Because Chase saw where we were a year ago and where we are now, and I thought that was a very interesting perspective because he came in and you know, he would firsthand witness the change, right? And that was something that Tommy wouldn't be able to speak to. So I thought it was interesting to see Chase's quote, and he talked about his first phone call with Barry, how that changed his thinking, how it's made him not only a better player, but a better teammate. The exciting part about Chase Brown is, you know, every day I meet with NFL scouts, and obviously we talk about his physical skills, but I say what this guy brings to your room, right? As a great player that demonstrates great practice habits, he gets great routines. He's a guy that on Wednesday goes to class from 11 in the morning till 7 at night, and then comes over and watches film afterwards, after he's already been in the building at 6 a.m., right? So he understands the professional nature of it, and Chase Brown is the epitome of what we look for in this program.
How do you describe his running style, and why does
He's very unique. You know, he glides, he runs, he stutters. I think there's three things that I always say. You know, as a running back, you usually fall into three categories: a speed, a power, or a shift. And he has the ability to run away from you, run through you, and make you miss, and that's very uncommon.
How significant is cold weather?
You know, I just made the point today, right? So I just literally walking the field. I said, hey, what we're feeling right now, right, could be 30 degrees colder on Saturday from where we're at. So we got a little bit of it at the beginning of the week. I told those guys when we're up early in the morning, feel that cold, get as braced as hard as we can. Tomorrow, we normally are indoor for our walkthrough, but we may go outside just because I think tomorrow's going to be a little bit colder. So our guys have been in cold weather, but we've been in the weather we had last Saturday too, so we got to prepare for the moment.
Congratulations to Sarah Champagne. Sarah Honda has won the President's Award. This is an award recognizing the best Honda dealerships in America. Sarah Honda has achieved excellence in sales, service, and customer satisfaction. When you go into Sarah Champagne, you'll see what winning the Honda President's Award means with their outstanding focus on you. Visit Sarah Champagne and experience excellence with not only Honda, but GMC, Buick, BMW, and Subaru. Sarah Champagne, off Neal at Burwash in Savoy.
Hi, Ellen Hook here, owner of your local Ashley. Better sleep starts with a better mattress from Ashley. Ashley Sleep mattresses are crafted to provide an amazing night's rest at a great price. Plus, trained Ashley Sleep professionals are ready to pair you with an Ashley Sleep Queen mattress that fits your unique sleep style for as low as $299. Visit your local Ashley store now to have your new mattress delivered straight to your door in days, not weeks. Only from America's #1 furniture and mattress store, Ashley.
Hey, this is Ben Grice from the Humble Hog in downtown Paxton, and grilling season, it's here. Are you ready? If you're a seasoned barbecue pro or a total amateur, take your meal to the next level. We've got our sauces bottled and ready to go. We've got rub, the best spices to take your barbecue to the next level. Or if you've got a big crowd, we even have extra meat. Dine in or take it home. It's super quick. You can order our sauces and our rub online at humblehogbbbq.com.
Hey Illini fans, it's your girl Chineo Gumake. Catch Lante and Derek Piper weekdays from 4 to 6 right here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Let's go. All right, we're going to talk some NFL next hour. And Kyle just told me the games are pathetic. I mean, I picked up Alan Lazard today. Somebody got tired of it. Well, I dropped Keenan Allen, and that felt good. And somebody immediately picked him up, and I'm like, okay. Have fun with that.
Stash him for the playoffs.
That's probably what he's doing, but I'm done. Between he and Swift, all they've done is sit on my bench the entire year.
I get it.
My second and fourth pick, I think. It's just so frustrating. Yeah, you watch. Keenan Allen will go off in the playoffs, and probably against me. So if that happens, it happens. I don't care. This has been a nightmare season for me in all walks of life. The Arizona Cardinals, my fantasy team, you name it. It's just been a bad NFL season. But we will go through the games around 5:30 next hour. And Luke
if that
Goody,
didn't sell it, I don't know what would.
Right. I'm sure everybody's going to be turning in for that. Well, we kind of have fun with it.
We do.
We kind of have fun with the idea that every game stinks. But you know what's funny, too? I don't even know who the Bears play. I don't want to know until we get there. So it's kind of a surprise.
Oh, it's a juicy game.
And Miami. I don't even know who the Dolphins play for your guy. So we'll just get there and we'll see what happens. So I'm enjoying and looking forward to that. Again, Luke Goody's going to join us at 5:05. He joined us earlier, so we had to tape the interview, but they're in practice right now. All right, so Illinois and Purdue, you going?
I think so.
How is this crowd going to be?
Based on my looks on StubHub, probably not very good.
Okay. Pretty cheap tickets?
Very cheap.
Okay.
My brother's in town from Nashville, speaking of Nashville.
Nice.
So as a family, we're thinking about going, and I almost bought tickets last week thinking if they beat Michigan State, if Purdue were to win, I don't want to get in a situation where prices go up or availability goes down. I waited.
Yes.
And then I don't know that Illinois losing dampened I think it did actually, because if it was College Game Day,
I think it did.
Then I probably would have wanted to have tickets before that moment.
I think you're right.
But in general, it's still a big game for Illinois on that
is.
note of it, but also the weather has now factored in
Right.
to where it's going to be 36 or 38 degrees is the high. Long story short, you can get tickets from like $15.
Okay. Isn't it amazing how important this game is, and yet you feel like, now maybe when I show up Saturday in the lots or when I get there for the game at 11 a.m., maybe I'll be surprised at the outcome, or with the crowd, but not the outcome of the game. I hope I'm not surprised by the outcome of the game, because if I'm surprised, that would mean bad news. If everything goes the way it should be an Illinois victory. But in terms of the crowd, I just feel like there's zero momentum. And it's amazing how a loss to Michigan State, now again, this could just be me, but how it just kind of crippled that momentum. And yet you look and see what this team is still going to possibly do. They could still win the Big Ten West. And raise your hand if you thought in the last 10 years that Illinois would ever do that. No hands are up anywhere. And they still could play in the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis and raise the other hand, unless you're driving, if you ever thought that was going to happen. And I guarantee you there's no hands up on that. And I know those are one of the same. If you thought they were going to win the West, then they'd be in the... this team still has some cool things to accomplish. And look...
And their biggest games of the year in front of them.
Yes, they are. Yeah. The
Michigan
Michigan
game. The Michigan game, and then if you were to play in the Big Ten title game.
And we don't want to overlook Northwestern.
Correct.
Man, would that stink. Up at Dyke Field, that would stink if you lost that game to Northwestern. But, yeah, I mean, you still have a chance to do some really good things and solidify a really good January 2nd bowl game. And how cool will that be to get January 2nd roll around and your Fighting Illini are running out onto the field in Tampa or at the Citrus Bowl or playing Alabama or playing Tennessee or whatever. How cool would that be? I assume Illinois dropped out of the college football playoff rankings.
Yes.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Was there any change to like the top 5? I know there were so many upsets. Well, there had to have been a change because obviously one played 3 with Tennessee playing Georgia and Georgia handling the Volunteers. So how far down did Tennessee fall, and is Ohio State number 1? I did not even look.
I didn't either. Georgia's number 1.
Oh, they jumped to
Ohio
1.
State 2, Michigan 3.
Oh, wow.
TCU number 4.
So Illinois has a legitimate shot of playing.
Illinois is 21.
Okay. They still have a legitimate shot of playing the number 2 and 3 teams in the college football playoff rankings right now.
They do. That train is...
They're playing Michigan for sure, and probably Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game if they get there. If both teams get there. Wow. that will be interesting, to say the least, to get that thing rolling. So, all right, Illinois at 21. Where did Tennessee fall to?
Tennessee's 5.
Okay. And 4 is who, you said?
So you have TCU at 4. They're 9-0.
They're still undefeated.
Yep.
How many undefeated still?
Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU. Those are the ones at the top. Those are the unbeatens in the college football playoff. I imagine those are the only ones.
Okay, got it. And, of course, we know that Ohio State and Michigan, one of those will have a loss. So I don't know if TCU could still run the table. I guess they could theoretically, and same with Georgia. So that'll be interesting to see. So Illinois drops to 21. Well, a chance again this week to get back in that top 20 if you beat Purdue, because I'm sure there'll be other upsets. So
it does stink, though, that a game of this magnitude and you wait so long to try to get to the Big Ten championship game, and maybe the crowd surprises, but I think that there is a thought that they won't crack 40,000.
Mm-hmm.
And because 11 a.m.,
that doesn't
cold,
help. Yep.
coming off a loss,
Yep.
I get it. But at the same time, it would be very disappointing to not have it feel like a really big game for the players on the field and then just those that will be in attendance. But I understand.
It's funny, too, because it is going to be cold. Don't get me wrong. But basically, most of your tailgates this year have been really good weather. And then you've had 2 straight clunkers, essentially, with – I mean, I think I'll be better off this week in 38 than I was where every 30 seconds you had to hold on to your plate, your beer, your hat, yourself. If I wasn't fat, I would have maybe blown away. But having that 28-mile, 30-an-hour wind gust it goes right through you. And it's like, oh, enough. I was getting so fed up with that. I told you the one time I looked around and it was like the Matrix when Keanu Reeves was dodging bullets. I was dodging leaves. These leaves were coming at me and slicing me in the face. That's how I'm like, I think a leaf is going to fly through my hand. That's how strong this weather is right now, this wind. It was just, it was so frustrating. I'm glad, hopefully, that won't be the case. I'll just take the cold. I can dress up. I can handle that. But
wear jeans.
I will be in jeans. Can I do the old man khakis with tennis shoes?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe a sweater vest. I think that would be cool.
He's going to dress like Jim Tressel?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
There you go.
All right, let's hear from Luke Goody when we come back, and we'll rip around the NFL. Stay tuned. It is The Drive.
Illinois football is back. Shop at Game Day Spirit this fall and gear up to support your Fighting Illini football team. With great football designs and brand new apparel from top brands, they're the one-stop shop to get everything you need this football season. Shop with them at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campustown, and online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
Thinking of selling your home? Today's market is crazy, but one way you can be sure to stand out is by replacing your old flooring with new hardwood. And the best place to do it is Carpet Weavers in Champaign. Carpet Weavers boast the industry's best brands, including Shaw, Mohawk, Paramount, and more. When it comes to natural beauty and a rich quality, nothing beats new flooring from Carpet Weavers. And they have financing options for your budget, so you can always afford the floor you truly want. Increase the value of your home by installing new, high-quality options from Carpet Weavers. Find out more online at carpetweaversflooring.com.
Congratulations to Sarah Champagne. Sarah Honda has won the President's Award. This is an award recognizing the best Honda dealerships in America. Sarah Honda has achieved excellence in sales, service, and customer satisfaction. When you go into Sarah Champagne, you'll see what winning the Honda President's Award means with their outstanding focus on you. Visit Sarah Champagne and experience excellence with not only Honda, but GMC, Buick, BMW, and Subaru. Sarah Champagne, off Neal at Burwash in Savoy.
Since Illinois football's inception in 1890, a root value has always been honoring those who serve to defend our country. Join us at Memorial Stadium on Saturday, November 12 for Military Appreciation Day. And cheer on the Illini as they face Purdue and battle for the Cannon Trophy. Tickets are available now at fightingillini.com or by calling 866-ILLINI-1.
What does the Apple Dumpling Restaurant offer?
The Apple Dumpling serves up homemade favorites, fried chicken, sandwiches, delicious chicken and noodles, beef and noodles, and meatloaf as comfort food.
And, of course, the Apple Dumpling with a scoop of ice cream, perhaps.
Visit this community treasure if you're looking for great people, great atmosphere, and great food in Urbana.
The Apple Dumpling Restaurant.
Open Tuesdays through Saturdays with a lunch buffet on Sundays.
On High Cross Road in Urbana.
You can look up the Apple Dumpling on Facebook.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Biden taking a victory lap after the midterm elections.
We lost fewer seats in the House of Representatives than any Democratic president's first elected midterm. At least 40 years. We had the best midterms for governors since 1986. And experts said we couldn't beat the odds, but we did beat the odds.
The president speaking at a Democratic National Committee event in Washington, adding the American people sent a message that they want both parties to work together, though he has said he will oppose any effort to undo his agenda. Stocks were their biggest gains in 2 years after new figures showed inflation cooled in October. The Dow gained 1,201 points, the Nasdaq up 760, the S&P up 207.
The consumer price index rose 7.7% year over year, lower than economists had anticipated. Treasury yields fell, driven by expectations that the Fed may opt for smaller interest rate hikes come November. Mega-cap tech companies that have been the hardest hit by the rise in inflation and surging interest rates were among the biggest gainers, the biggest Dow winners. Home Depot, Salesforce, and Microsoft. The only Dow decliner, McDonald's.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. Tropical storm Nicole has sent multiple homes in Florida into the Atlantic Ocean. Nicole made landfall as a hurricane early this morning near Vero Beach, but most of the damage has been felt well north of there.
Center of the storm around the Big Bend of Florida. It's going to continue to pull up towards the north and eventually make kind of a northeast turn. And that's going to happen throughout about the next, say, 48 hours that we still have the storm to deal with. In the short term, tornado watch in effect until about 7 o'clock tonight. I suspect we'll see another one issued a little bit farther off towards the north.
Fox meteorologist Rick Reichmuth. Nicole is expected to dump lots of rain over a large area of the southeast. At least 2 deaths have been blamed on the storm. America is listening to Fox News.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor rejects an emergency request to suspend New York City's COVID-19 vaccine mandate for city workers while their appeal plays out.
The Alliance Defending Freedom asked the Supreme Court to step in and remove a requirement that New York City workers have the COVID vaccine. Justice Sonia Sotomayor declined to do so while their appeal plays out. The group defending police officers, firefighters, and teachers on religious liberty grounds wrote that these workers have lost their livelihoods and are losing their homes, that there's now proof the vaccine doesn't stop the spread of COVID, and that an injunction here would simply put these workers on par with the city's private sector workers, for whom the mandate was removed by New York's mayor this fall. Late last month, a state Supreme Court judge ruled the city had to reinstate 16 sanitation workers to their jobs with back pay. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Saudi Arabia has released an American woman who was in custody after she spoke out on her efforts to leave the country with her young daughter. The National Toy Hall of Fame welcomes its newest members.
It's been played with for at least 6,000 years, but the spinning top has just made it into the National Toy Hall of Fame, along with 2 other inductees, a much-loved light-up peg toy.
Turn on the magic of shining light.
It's It's only 55 years old and the Masters of the Universe line of action figures, which includes the iconic He-Man and She-Ra. They beat out a field of 12 finalists, which included Nerf, Pound Puppies, and Spirograph. The chief curator of the National Strong Museum of Play calling them enduring classics that have stood the test of time. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Works by artists including Cezanne and Van Gogh sold for a record-breaking $1.5 billion during the first part of Christie's two-day auction of the late Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen's collection. All 60 of the artworks put up for auction in New York sold. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and Vicinity. The last of the warm ones for a long, long time expected for the day today. Sunshine, south wind, some temperature readings across the area. Be record and near record setting in nature up to 75. The average high this time of the year, 53. That south wind, 15 to 25, and gusty. Increasing clouds for tonight, leveling off at 46. Winds will turn westerly late into the night. For the day tomorrow, windy and turning much colder, partly sunny. Maybe a sprinkle chance early and late. Morning high to about 49. That'll be mid-morning. Falling temperatures to about 37 by evening time on a west-northwest wind, 15 to 25 and gusty. Into the low to mid-20s tomorrow night. Football Saturday kickoff. About maybe 32 to 35 for the ball game with a partly sunny sky and a stiff northwest wind. By Sunday, more cold weather. Upper teens in the morning, 35 in the afternoon, 38 on Monday. A little light snow and rain mix in here for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Daytime temperatures in the upper 30s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Check.
I literally just create madness.
Well, they're up.
I'm going to go off here.
They don't have a great quarterback.
I got to take a break. I'm getting in trouble.
To win the Big Ten, you first got to win the West.
Bad Bunny. Have you heard his name in a while?
No.
Has it bothered you?
No. Defensively, they got to come in with some confidence.
Is that even analytics?
I'm in a parking garage, kind of lost.
Terrence Shannon, Matthew Meyer, RJ Melendez, Coleman Hawkins.
These trophy presentations aren't over.
I didn't come here to go 5-7.
I'm so proud of Illinois football right now. I'm so tired of Joel Embiid.
We're not taking Patrick Corbin.
I want to bet the Bears.
Oh.
You are Reba McEntire's niece.
Roshan Russell.
Coach Bielma.
You no longer salute to yourself.
What? We got all kinds of things for you here.
There's a lot of glass.
Oh.
Guys, we have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
It's The Drive.
Schmack Dogs.
Kyle's got a new job this year. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good evening. This is the last warm day. When we leave tomorrow from this radio station, it will be approximately 35 degrees. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. So go out, get your last walk of the outdoors. Go get that done. Or maybe you already did that today. It is The Drive. It's Lonte, Derek Piper, Kyle the intern. Kyle Tosk is with us, and he will be recapping, ripping through the NFL, getting you ready for, there's a game tonight. So we'll talk all about that coming up at the bottom of the hour. But Kyle, before we get to the Luke Goody chat, I know that you are doing some extensive investigation to find out what all went down last night at State Farm Center. Cool moment. Josh Whitman went into the locker room after the game and presented the game ball to Shauna Green. Her first victory as Illinois women's basketball coach. They blew out LIU. Coach Green, she ran a really good program at Dayton. And I feel like she is going to come here. And I mean, I know you say this before, and not you, but I mean, look, we thought maybe that Jolette Law could turn this thing around. She was a great assistant in college for a major program. And then we had, who's the gentleman now down at Eastern that I've forgotten his name?
Matt Bloulant.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Sorry, Matt. I like Matt. And he was unbelievable at University of Wisconsin, Green Bay or whatever. We went like 70-3, and it just didn't kind of work out with him. Got off to a rough start there with an assistant coach getting the program into hot water. And then Nancy Fay comes, and she was a Division III coach that won like 5 national titles, and it never got off the ground with Nancy Fay. It's a long uphill battle for Shauna Green, but it was good for her to get her first win. She's got a couple of solid players coming in as recruits. So when you look at it that way, I guess that's one thing to at least say you're off and running on a good start. But like we mentioned yesterday, this is now the 6th, I believe, straight year that Illinois women's basketball has won their opener, and then, of course, it kind of goes downhill from there. But, Kyle, do you have any kind of results from this? I know someone posted a double-double in that game.
The women won 75-40 over Long Island.
35, nice.
And okay. Kendall Bostic had 16 points, 11 rebounds. I'm trying to get a further box score.
That's good right there. That's good. We'll throw that for Kendall Bostic. 16 and 11. We'll take that every night.
Makaira Cook, the transfer from Dayton, had 14 in her debut for the Illini. And also Adalia McKenzie, 12.7 rebounds. She was one of the nice recruits that was left from the previous staff, a former 4-star guard.
Is she from Minnesota? Is she the one from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So good stuff. So Illinois women, Shauna Green, congrats to Coach Green. They are off and running with a 1-0 start. Illinois men's basketball off and running with a 1-0 start. They'll play tomorrow night at State Farm Center at 8 o'clock. One player that is not able to play right now is Luke Goody, and this is killing him, Derek Piper.
It should be. I get it.
Did you see him in his scooter or whatever?
No, I didn't get a chance to see him today. The only two players I saw, we talked to Dane Danger before practice. Obviously, a lot to talk about with his double-double against Eastern. Did some really nice things. And then Ty Rogers was in early getting free throws up. So I'm sure people will like to hear about that. And he was shooting a good percentage. Of course, you got to make those in the game. But putting in the extra work was good. But those are the only two players I saw. Unfortunately, didn't get to see Luke. He was probably spotting up for the interview with you.
That's probably true. And not only that, but you did see him Monday when he had his little scooter.
I did, yeah.
That he was running around with. So, it stinks for Luke Goody. As mentioned, I think he would be a guy that right off the bat would be getting some heavy minutes for this Illinois basketball team.
He would, whether it be, I know he started in that Kansas scrimmage, assuming he'd probably be a piece off the bench, one of the first ones to come in and play a decent minute. I know that in talking to people around the program, they thought that he was in line to play 20, maybe even upwards of 25 minutes for them with his three-point shooting, with his IQ, his passing, and a guy that they just really, really trust, as we've continued to say. So tough for him to have to sit this thing out. Hopefully his recovery goes as quickly as possible and can get back out there doing his thing soon. But until then, he's moving the scooter around. I know he was in pretty good spirits with us last week.
He was.
Here in studio, and he was awesome on the radio. He's got a future in that if he wants it. And
we talked about that a little bit.
Look forward to hearing what he had to say this week.
You know, every once in a while, it's like I just told you this when we took a break at the top of the hour. I'm like, there are certain days where this job feels like a job, and today's one of them. I'm just kind of tired. It's that time of year. Clocks got moved back. It's dark. It's getting cold, and it's just one of those where sometimes you're like, okay, I need this 2 hours to go quick. But I sat there a second ago thinking you were interviewing Brad Underwood and Dane Danger and Ty Rogers and this crew. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here chatting basketball with Luke Goody. Now, that's a pretty cool day. Like, how many others around Central Illinois had that day?
Could be worse.
So, yeah, it could be worse. That's exactly right. And it's always fun to talk with Luke. Here is our chat with Luke Goody.
Find your perfect artificial Christmas tree at Prairie Gardens. With so many styles and sizes from which to choose, the area's largest tree selection is waiting for you. Your expert will guide you to a tree that's just right. From the lights to the style to the just perfect size, at prices you'll love and the very best tree guarantee, 'tis the season to find your perfect artificial Christmas tree at Prairie Gardens. Extraordinary gardening, home decor, and totally Christmas.
It is The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Derek Piper, doing a little Luke Goody one-on-one today because of Brad Underwood trying to do it again, man. Here he comes again, trying to get in our way when it comes to Luke Goody. And, of course, I'm kidding, but they do have some practice tonight, and Luke Goody's got some things to do. So I'm talking with Luke earlier in the day, and I wanted to throw out our sponsors that make this happen. Max Twin City Recycling, trusted recycling since 1955. Also, Apple Dumpling Restaurant on High Cross Road in Urbana. If you have never been to the Apple Dumpling Restaurant, you would love it. You're going to love it. So go there and give it a shot. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend. And by the University of Illinois Alumni Association, shop the Alma Market at uiaa.org. Without further ado, let's get Luke Goody on here. What's up, Luke?
What's up? How you doing?
Good, buddy. All right, we're one game in. We're 1-0. We did what we're supposed to do. How did it feel at game time? And I guess start there. How did it feel to kind of get second season for you underway, albeit not on the court?
Yeah, it's a really weird feeling, to be honest with you. Usually on game day, you're up and you're excited and you're ready to go. A little bit of nerves running through you, especially for the first game. And it was just a different kind of feeling, man. I was excited for my teammates. I was there in the moment and all the stuff like that. But, having the boot on and on my scooter around the court, just not being able to go through the warm-ups and the same type of things, it was a little different. I'm not going to lie to you, but it was really fun to watch my teammates. They went out there and took care of business. Our team looked really good. We're really happy with where we're at. And other than not playing, it was a great night.
I bet. And the last thing you want to do is not play. But can you learn something from this, by sitting and kind of realizing what's going on, not only in warm-ups, but also during a game? Can a guy like Luke Goody, who's been around basketball his entire life, learn anything from maybe not playing here for the first few weeks?
That's actually a good question. I would definitely learn, having patience and being able to approach the game and be a teammate from a different angle. I've been trying to be in a leadership role since I've been here since day one, and this year I definitely have elevated that leadership role in the terms of, where I am on the team and kind of my position on the team. And, I've been doing that all by playing. So now I'm not playing, right. So now I got to find a different way to, lead the younger guys and some of the older guys as well and just help them from the sidelines. It's a little bit harder when you're not out there with them every day practicing and battling with them, and then in the games just because you don't have that same sense of, togetherness with them. But, I'm just trying to take it in a different angle of approach, trying to, help the guys in any way possible and just use my basketball knowledge and IQ to, help our team out.
Well said. Luke Goody joining us on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. I want to ask you this, Luke. I don't know if coaching is in your future. I'm not sure what direction you want to go. Obviously, you want to take basketball as far as it'll take you, but is this also a chance for you to kind of look at how things work from a coach's view, if you will?
Yeah, for sure. It's actually funny you say that. A few people have told me that the last couple of weeks that, I should think about coaching, but it just gives a different kind of viewpoint. When you're in the moment and playing on the court, everything's going kind of faster, right. And you don't really look at the big picture of things. But, when you're sitting on the sideline and get to see what the teammates are doing and, kind of things they're doing right and wrong, and then be able to think through that, it really does give another perspective. And it's, sometimes I'll chime in and talk to one of the assistant coaches or Patrick Biddle or Tyler Underwood and just, give them a suggestion or just something that I see or something that I think. And, I have a lot of respect for them because they do take that into account and talk about it and really, really do, honor my opinion and stuff like that. But it is kind of, it's tough because I'm not on the court, but right. It's also, I can take this and almost better myself because I can see things that I don't see on the court and, take that to the game.
We better watch out or Coleman Hawkins is going to think he's a better shooter than you. He went off, my man. What was that like?
Did.
From a three-point shooter yourself, what was that like to watch that terror?
I mean, Sue, if he's going to shoot like that the rest of the season, a lot of teams got to worry about us. I mean, hopefully he will. I have confidence that he will. He's a great player, and it was fun to see him do that. And, people can see what he's been working on in the off season, and, a lot of people are excited for him to make that jump, and that's just the product of a lot of hard work this summer.
Is he somebody that someone like you or others can look up to? And here's what I mean. Yesterday on the show, Derek and I were visiting about certain guys and how it went, et cetera. And I mentioned something about Coleman Hawkins, and I said this last season. I don't know if there's anybody in the country that deserves a chance to shine like Coleman Hawkins, because since he's been at Illinois, sure, Brad Underwood has let him get his chance. He's let him play. But certainly, he's never really unleashed Coleman Hawkins on teams and just in the schedule in general. And then you watch Coleman, who just really was patient, right? In the age of the transfer portal and such, he was a patient guy, kind of took his time, and now you're looking at a guy that is projected possibly in the second round of the NBA draft, and then he's coming out doing what he's doing, and he's always played with a lot of confidence. So when you look at that and you look at a guy like Coleman, I would assume that a lot of guys could probably learn from his patience, which is a big word for you, and just also what he's been able to accomplish off the court, not during games, to get himself to where he is now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to Coleman as a person, first of all, and a player. You know, when you go through the ups and downs that he has in his career, you know, freshman year he didn't play too much. Sophomore year he was in the starting rotation, out of the starting rotation, you know, kind of up and down. It really is a testament to his patience and, you know, who he is as a person. I mean, in any other situation that's kind of tough for him. And, you know, it really just shows that if you trust the process and stick to, you know, what the coaching staff believes in us and wants us to do, that it can take you anywhere. I mean, Coach Underwood is a proven coach. He's got guys in the NBA. He's got championships and all these accomplishments. So he knows what's best for you. And, you know, apparently what he thinks is the best for Coleman is, you know, how Coleman's path is gone. And I really respect Coleman for staying at the school because the easy way out now.
Sure.
I'm not talking bad about the transfer portal or anything like that. People all have their reasons and stuff like that for leaving schools. But, you know, in today where the easy way out is just to leave the school if you know, have any adversity, it's really a testament to him as a person to stick through that and continue to play through that. And, you know, you see the fruits of his labor. And he's one of the, I mean, I'm going to say this because I'm a biased teammate, but he's one of the best bigs, if not players in the country right now. And I think all that mock draft stuff is kind of BS, but, you know, I could see him working his way up to the first round and being, you know, a very prized pick in the NBA draft. So.
Well said. And, you know, look, I mean, they've got him projected second round, and for what he's done so far, can you imagine if he goes out and puts up all Big Ten, All-American kind of numbers, then obviously he's going to jump his way up that draft. Another guy, am I going to be seeing Luke Goody coming down the lane after this foot is healed like Terrence Shannon? I mean, that dude, whoa, he's a little bit explosive.
Yes, he is. Yep. Hopefully I come back from my injury jumping like that.
Yes.
Everybody's making jokes because I'm, you know, hopping around on my right leg and scootering on my right leg. They said you're going to be jumping off that and dunking on people. So
you'll be dunking like Kendall Gill, going left-handed with that dunk.
Yeah.
I love that. What did you see from Terrence Shannon Jr.? Obviously, his first game with the Illini, he looked good. He obviously got to the foul line. Tell me about getting to the foul line, Luke. I mean, that's an art, right? I mean, I know people will sit there and say, well, look, he's just a jump shooter. He maybe doesn't get to the line enough. He doesn't get to the rim to where he's going to get fouled. But getting fouled and getting those free throws, that can be an art. And it sounds like Terrence Shannon's somebody that really knows how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You see some of the greatest scorers of all time, especially in the NBA. You look at, you know, James Harden had one of the best scoring seasons in the history of basketball, and he got to the foul line, you know, 15, 20 times a game. That's basically free points is the way that our program looks at it. So, you know, when Terrence Shannon, his frame, he's about 6'6", you know, whatever, 220. I mean, that's a big frame, and he's one of the faster wings that I've ever played with. So when you got that type of talent, that type of skill coming down the lane, I mean, the only thing you can do to stop him is foul him. So when you do that and then you mix in, I think he's shooting 95, 96% from the line in practice or something like that. When you mix that in with, you know, his toughness and his will to get to the rim, I mean, you get him to the free throw line 10, 15 times a game, and that's only going to help the team and help himself.
That's the only time I got double figures in high school, Luke, is getting to the free throw line. I could knock him down, man. That's the only spot, though, I could do it.
There you go.
Visiting with Luke Goody, and that is brought to you by Max Twin City Recycling, the Apple Dumpling Restaurant, Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, and the University of Illinois Alumni Association. Your guy, R.J. Melendez, had a little bit of a tough night. 0 for 5, obviously an active guy, obviously somebody that most of us are not, or all of us are not worried about in what he's going to be able to accomplish this season. What do you do when you have a night like that? I know you've probably not had many, but on occasion maybe had a night like that. Is it easy just to move to the next one, or do you kind of fight yourself for a day?
That's a good question. I think everybody's process is different.
Yeah.
You know, when someone has a bad game, you know, last year some guys would come to the gym after the game and shoot. Some guys, you know, would go home and get a good night's sleep and wake up early and shoot, or, you know, just completely forget about it, watch film. I mean, it's different for everybody. My thing to RJ was, man, listen, it's the first game of the season. We won by 32 points, so that's not an issue. Like, the team is going to be the team, and, you know, we're only going to go as far as the team goes. So you need to, you know, calm down. Everything's going to be all right, and it's one game. You know, one of those things that you can't get down on yourself. Got to keep your confidence. Everybody in America, and especially around the program and the fans, know what he's capable of. Everybody, has the hype on Twitter and all that stuff, all the social media stuff. So they know what he's doing. So my thing to him was, listen, dude, all that stuff on social media, all the trash talk and all the praise, it's all coming and going. You just got to stay true to yourself and just work hard. You have one bad game, go get in the gym and get up extra shots. Stay after and watch some film with coaches. It's the little things like that really will help your confidence for the next game and just let you continue doing what you do. And I think that's going to be huge for RJ, not letting himself get down over one game, and just, being able to bounce back, because everybody knows what he's capable of, and he's going to have a special season.
I'm telling you, Luke Goody's got a future, whether he wants to do broadcasting, whether he wants to coach. He's got a future, man, and he's showing it already. We are excited to visit with Luke Goody once a week during this season, excited that he was on board with that and just couldn't ask for a better thing to kind of get some insight. Give me a little insight on these freshmen. Obviously, Sky Clark, Jaden Epps, Sincere Harris, he's bouncy, keeps doing his thing. Ty Rogers, he didn't score a lot, but he just fills up the stat sheet like he will for his entire career, I have a feeling here. What was it like for those freshmen? What do you do now that you're this veteran, if you will, as a sophomore? How do you help those guys get ready for not only game one, but these early portion of the season?
Yeah, all 4 freshmen play really, really hard, and I know everybody sees that, all the fans see that. Sincere played, I think, 15 minutes maybe, and came in and played the hardest minutes out of anybody. So when you got guys that want to come in and play hard and win regardless of their stats, Ty Rogers had 1 point, 1 of 5 from the line, but he didn't say a single thing in the locker room afterwards. When you got guys that buy in like that,
nice,
and their biggest thing is just winning, it's huge. Obviously Sky comes in 5-star, all this stuff. He had 3 points, but he wasn't in the locker room upset or anything like that. Around the team, at least. I can't speak to himself, but around the team, he's great. And when you have guys that come together like that and don't care about stats and all that stuff, and just want to win, it can make for a special season. So when you got a lot of guys, Ty, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, doing all the little things. This year comes in and picks up full court and, steals the ball from the dude at half court after dribbling for 10 seconds. And, Jaden coming in playing 24 minutes because Sky's in foul trouble. Sky leading the offense, having a little bit of a tougher day, but still being able to stay composed and just be that player that everybody knows he's going to be. It's just a testament to our team. And I think the biggest thing, what I saw from the bench is honestly, for us, the sky's the limit. When you got, Coleman and Terrence had a hell of a game, and then RJ didn't make a shot. Matt didn't have a great game.
No.
Sky didn't have a great game. And, those guys any night could go for 20. So when you have that many weapons, wow. Dane had a great game. When you have that many weapons that can put up those numbers like that, some guy gets shut off one game, then you just go to the next guy and all the way down the line until our 12th, 13th guy. It's impressive. You don't really see that. So that's what I really appreciated about the game, is everybody kind of stayed. Even RJ didn't have a great game, but in the locker room, he was great. So that's just a testament to our team and the high character guys that we got.
Yeah, you just nailed it. I just think this is going to be a team that is going to be so hard to beat because of all the components that you just listed, and we're not even talking about Luke Goody and when he gets back on that court, which I know everybody is excited to get you back. Just a couple more minutes with Luke Goody. Dane Danger, you mentioned Dane, and for us, kind of our first view really long-term, if you will, in terms of minutes with Dane Danger, and all he does is kind of go out and do a double-double. What do you like about him, and what have you seen since he's been on campus in terms of him getting better and what you think he will be able to produce, not only this season for this team, but in the future?
Dane's just a special player. He came in, pretty overweight, and, he's worked with Fletch every day, comes in extra and gets work in. And
nice.
He's super skilled around the rim. So it's when he gets the ball in the paint, it's pretty much a bucket in the low post. And he's really fun to watch in that sense and, play with in that sense because, you can depend on a bucket or a layup when he gets the ball that deep. So, a double-double in his first game in only, 18, 19 minutes and stuff like that. That's really hard to do. So for him to do that, I think it brings a really reliable piece off the bench. Kind of a different look as well. You go from Coleman, who's more of a, switchable 5 and a very,
sure.
Has a lot of movement and different actions in him. And then you go to Dane, who's just so dominant in the post, long arms, good defender. It's a big change up, and I think it'll work in our favor. And, he's done nothing but work hard this summer, this offseason, and then into the season. So we're excited for him as well.
Now, Luke Goody, one of my mentors in life was my high school basketball coach, but I'll tell you this about Coach Riddle. He was mad every day. It didn't matter if you won by 30 or you made 4 shots in a row. He was going to come up with a reason to kind of get angry at you and get you motivated. Have you noticed a difference with Coach Underwood this season? I know we're early in it, but you've all obviously spent a lot of time around Coach the last couple of years. Anything different about Coach going into this season?
Yeah, I think he's taking a more of a teaching approach almost. Last year we had a team full of veterans, and the freshmen, we came in and we couldn't make a mistake because there's a veteran waiting,
right.
Just to come in and take that spot back, which is, that's how it was last year. But this year we really relying on our freshmen for a lot of things. So instead of kind of one mistake and now watch the veterans, it's one mistake and all right, we're going to learn from this and move on and you're going to get better from this. So, and that's just how it was. Like, I'm not upset or jealous about it. It's just how the situation is, and it's good because those freshmen are really able to learn and be taught the right way. So in terms of coach's different approach on coaching, I respect it. I think it's going great for our team and it's only going to make us better.
How fun was it? I know you want to be out there. Don't get me wrong. And I know last year, obviously last year didn't play major minutes, but you had a chance to kind of look back at this game and kind of look around and see the crush and the crowd. And that's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger as the season goes along. These Illinois fans will pack State Farm Center. But was it kind of fun just to get back in it? Just get back around the environment, get in the gym, hear the music, see the crush. I mean, that's got to be something that just gets your blood going.
It was, yeah, it's awesome. You walk in and you still get those goosebumps and, smile when they do the starting announcement and all that stuff. It was killing me because I couldn't go to the Quincy exhibition game. It was actually the day of my surgery. And, I asked Paul if I could go, and he's like, no, we're sending you home. You need to go, lay in bed for a couple of days. So it was killing me to watch that on TV. But, be able to be back, it just makes me that much more excited and that much more hungry to get back on the court. So, I can do everything that I need every day to get back playing with my guys and being in front of that crowd again.
Awesome. Lazy Luke Goody. That's what we're going to call him now. He's laying in bed now. No, I'm kidding. Real quick, we're about a week in. How are things? I guess everything's progressing, right?
Yep. We're 13 days out. It'll be 14 tomorrow on game day. And the stitches come out tomorrow in my foot. So we're progressing really well. I moved from the scooter to the boot and, putting some pressure on the foot. I'm back working out again with Coach Fletch. I actually have a lift in like a couple minutes. So.
Sweet.
Got to get going, but yeah, I'm excited. We're progressing really well. It's healthy. Paul Schmidt's doing a great job with everything. I'll get reevaluated in 4 weeks from now, and I'm just excited to get back, man.
Go power it up, my friend. Go get those veins popping, Luke Goody.
All right.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that is Luke Goody. And go ahead and hang up, Luke. Just go ahead, get to your workout, get her done. That is Luke Goody. Again, we're going to do this once a week during the season. And excited, of course, to be able to bring on Luke Goody. What a great young man. And I think it's going to be fun, especially when things get kind of nitty-gritty, when these big games start rolling around with UCLA and such, and the Big Ten comes rolling around to kind of get Luke's perspective. And then before you know it, he's going to be out on the court doing his thing, and we're going to be able to get some insight from him and what he's doing there. Again, the Luke Goody interview, we have some great sponsors that make this happen. Max Twin City Recycling, that is a trusted recycling name since 1955. How about that? You got to love companies that are around forever. You know what that means? They do it right. Max Twin City Recycling. Also, the Apple Dumpling Restaurant. It is a slice of heaven if you've never been there. And if you like fried chicken, if you like just homemade, just good old homemade country food, try them out. The Apple Dumpling Restaurant, you are not going to walk away upset. I promise you that. That's on High Cross Road there in Urbana. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend. And are we going to need them soon as the weather turns? I think 38 maybe for the Illinois football game Saturday. You want to make sure Dogtown Heating and Air and Plumbing out to make sure your heat is working. And also the University of Illinois Alumni Association. Shop the Alma Market at uiaa.org. That's uiaa.org.
Like most banks, we offer an app that lets you do pretty much everything you need from your pocket. But at Iroquois Federal, we believe great banking is less about the app you tap and more about what you tap into. And for us, that's a hometown bank where decisions are made locally by the same folks you'll bump into on the bleachers at the next big game, providing the hometown touch that's made us part of the community for nearly 140 years. Iroquois Federal. Still friendly, still local, still here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The 2022 Big Ten Football Championship game presented by Discover returns to Indianapolis December 3rd at Lucas Oil Stadium. Tickets are on sale now at big10.org/FCG tickets. Every ticket also includes complimentary admission to the Big Ten Fan Fest presented by Dr. Pepper. Don't miss the action. Purchase your ticket today for the 2022 Big Ten Football Championship game.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands, owner of Lands Inc. You never realize how much you rely on the plumbing in your home until something goes wrong. A small leak can end up with a big repair if it's not taken care of right away. At the first sign of trouble, visit landsinc.com. While there, learn more about plumbing, drain cleaning, and underground solutions. At Lands Inc., our commitment is to you, the customer. We look forward to having you be a part of the Lands family. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
Illinois football is back. Shop at Game Day Spirit this fall and gear up to support your Fighting Illini football team. With great football designs and brand new apparel from top brands, they're the one-stop shop to get everything you need this football season. Shop with them at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campustown, and online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it's important to work with experienced agents. Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at RE/MAX Realty Associates have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at RE/MAX. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com. Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
It's a totally Christmas winter wonderland at Prairie Gardens. Ornaments, decor, wreaths, garlands, and so much more all ready now, along with brand new savings. This week, save 50% off all Christmas bushes. Select large Christmas candle jars are $6.97. All furniture, save 10%. Plus, find your perfect artificial Christmas tree with the largest selection around and very best tree guarantee at Prairie Gardens, your Christmas destination for over 50 years.
PDR Automotive in Urbana is a locally owned repair shop, and they've now serviced over 250,000 vehicles in their near 50-year history. Now, that's more than 4 times the size of a sold-out Memorial Stadium. It's more than all Division I athletes in the country combined. That's more than the entire population of Champaign County. That's more than, well, you get the idea. When you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hey Illini fans, it's Max Kellerman. Catch Lon Tay and Derek Piper weekdays from 4 to 6 right here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hey, what's up, Derek?
What's going on?
It's been a while.
It has. You know what also has been a while?
What's that?
The last time we kept up our Cardinal streak, which is not a streak because we're not doing it every day. But
right. We can start
another one.
Okay.
So news.
What do we got?
In the baseball world.
Oh, wait.
I know. It's first day of free agency.
Wait.
I don't want to oversell it.
Oh. Harold Reynolds ain't walking through that door, I can tell you that.
The Cardinals have agreed to terms with Will. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Former Cardinal outfielder John Jay is joining Skip Schumacher's staff in Miami. He'll be the first base and outfield coach.
Those two were just two peas in a pod. I mean, you could not get those guys away from each other. That's awesome.
Just a quick note.
That's cool. We just heard MLB Network. We were listening to a little snippet at the top of the hour, and they were going through some free agents. The first free agent was Carlos Rodon from the Giants. Used to pitch for the White Sox. Lefty, kind of a power arm. They said the best fit, Cardinals. Then they said Wilson Contreras. And Kyle, I know you got excited about this, but they said the best fit, Cardinals. I'd be all right with Contreras
guy
and
Harold
Rodon.
said.
That's what Harold. That's what yeah, that is. It's my guy. I like that idea, Kyle. How about you?
I do not.
Okay.
If nothing else goes right for the Cubs this offseason, just make sure Contreras is not in St. Louis.
Now, they did say, Matt Vasgersian, or however you say it, did say that he thinks Rodon will end up in the National League Central, either the Cubs, and he did say it's time for them to start spending some money, and Rodon would be a good spot for that, or the Cardinals. So, we'll see. I think they're crazy not to get Contreras back. I think you're crazy if you don't.
I agree with that.
Maybe they will. We'll see. All right, are you ready for this?
Yes.
We've got another 8:30 a.m. Sunday London game.
It's actually in Germany.
Oh, this one's in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay. That piques my interest a little bit. Not really. It doesn't.
Just as much as this Thursday night game?
Yeah. That I don't have no idea who's playing tonight.
Fill them in, Kyle.
It is the Atlanta Falcons in Charlotte, North Carolina to take on the Panthers. Rematch of that game a couple weeks ago that had that DJ Moore Hail Mary.
Yeah. I just took DJ Moore out of my lineup. Maybe I ought to put him back in. He seems to have magical games against Atlanta. Is this one like in Switzerland?
It is not.
Or is it in Charlotte, you said?
It is in Carolina.
Is Atlanta still in first?
Tied with the Bucks. 4-5.
I think that epitomizes the entire season. Marcus Mariota and the Atlanta Falcons. They get it done today.
Okay.
I'm not a huge Deontay Moore. Is that his name? Deontay Moore? Or no, Foreman.
You mentioned him last time.
He's with the Panthers, I thought.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. Is he?
Now that McCaffrey's gone and Mayfield's been out.
Yeah. It's ugly.
I'm not picking the Panthers.
No, I'll go Falcons.
Falcons.
Boom.
Well, we thought we were done with the London
How many
games.
people, honestly, are watching this game tonight?
Not me.
Like how in Central, let's say there's 200,000 people in our immediate listening viewership, or that would be TV, radio ship. Of 200,000, I want to guess from all three of us. Of 200,000, and you take away the fact fantasy football. So those that have fantasy implications are watching this. So you take them out. Out of 200,000 people, I'm going to guess 9 are watching this game tonight. How about you, Dirk?
Probably a few more than 9.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, it's not on regular TV.
You're right.
Streaming. So you're wiping out 60% of your population.
200?
Okay.
I'll say 500.
Okay. We'll
I
never
think
be
Kyle's
able to prove.
probably closest.
Yeah. There's probably going to be
The
about
closest by
50,000, to be honest with you.
But
probably.
Indiana plays Bethune-Cookman on BTN at 7:30.
Well.
Bethune-Cookman is 308 on Ken Palm. They're terrible. I'd rather watch that.
I would too. I honestly would. And I can. I can't watch the other. That's terrible. All right, Kyle, go ahead.
Well, we thought we were done with the London games, which was true.
Yeah.
There's going to be a game in Munich, Germany this week, though.
Okay.
The Seahawks and the Buccaneers. Will this Seahawks run end?
This would drive me nuts if I was a Seahawks fan or a Buccaneers fan, because both of your teams are trying to win a division. And in the middle of all of it, they have to travel to Germany to play a football game. And then they have to travel back from Germany. Now, I don't know if they each have a bye week next week. I don't know if they've had their bye week.
They haven't been doing that with the London games.
They haven't been giving them
a lot of the teams that play in London then play the next week. But the Bucks or the Seahawks will be on a bye, and the Bucks will also be on a bye.
Oh, okay.
So they're
okay.
fine.
Okay. So that helps a little bit. So I won't get that upset. But just the thought of that. Okay. So, but anyway, that helps. Seahawks and Buccaneers. Listen, the Seahawks team they just continue to impress, right? Pete Carroll's doing an unbelievable job, and I'm not a fan of his, but he obviously knows how to coach football. But I don't think that the Seahawks are going to beat the Buccaneers. I'll take Tom Brady and the Nears. The Buccaneers.
Maybe the next Mrs. Brady is in Germany.
Oh!
Who knows?
Oh, yes!
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Geno Smith has played really good football.
He really
and
has.
Kenneth Walker's running wild.
He's going to be good.
Even though the Bucs won, their offense still hasn't really clicked all that much. All that being said, it does seem like maybe a Bucs late season rally. They're still not that dangerous. At its current construction and current performance, they're not a dangerous team in the playoffs, albeit you don't usually want to see Tom Brady when it's all on the line. But
I agree.
I still feel like maybe they got a little bit of a run in them. They kept that alive last week by beating the Rams.
Okay. Going Bucks.
The Chicago Bears have been playing
here we go.
some really good football.
Speaking of running them,
what a better way to keep that good string of football alive than taking on the Detroit Lions at home.
Detroit coming off a win. Kirby Joseph.
I hope you guys like points.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because there will be 1 million of them.
Should be in. Where's this one at?
Chicago.
Well, I mean, that solidifies it. Justin Fields is playing good football, man. Keep it going. Keep it going. I'll take Bears over the Detroit Lions. Guess who's questionable? Swift. I know that'll surprise you.
Shocked.
I know I figured that would shock you. I didn't mean to do that to you.
Jamal Williams will probably run for
$150. Yep.
We'll see. I wouldn't mind the Bears losing.
That's the problem you're running into now.
I just want to see a lot of points, and then the Bears probably let one slip away late.
Okay.
But I think they will pull this one out because I think that their offense, shockingly, who now is leaned into Big 12 football. That's what we watch every Sunday. It's entertaining, but the team with the ball on the last drive will win. I'll say it's Chicago, and they win like 35-31.
I like that score. It's the battle of the St. Browns. Are they related, I assume?
Yes,
okay.
Brothers, and they have the much, much better one.
Oh, got it. What's the first name of yours?
You're trying to set me up, aren't you?
Because Detroit, it's Armand, right?
Amon-Ra.
Or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay.
Equiminius.
Okay.
Nimius.
I
can say Chase Claypool, and he's going to get his first touchdown as a Bear this week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Book it.
All right. I'll go Bears.
All right. We got a good matchup on paper with the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Now, Josh Allen has not practiced this week. It might be Case Keenum at quarterback for the Bills.
I don't care who it is at quarterback. The Bills win this game. They're not going to lose 2 straight. And Minnesota, if you've noticed, this would be, I heard this stat the other day, like the 5th team they would play this year with a backup quarterback. Like they just keep getting the break. And I'm not saying Minnesota's not good, but they kind of keep getting this break each week. I just feel like they've won a lot of close games. They've had the breaks go their way. I just think Buffalo takes care of them. Is this in Orchard Park?
Yes, it is.
All right, I'll take Buffalo. They'll be diving into tables there with no shirt on and 20-degree weather. They're going to be ready to play.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 43 degrees there.
Oh, it's going to be warmer in Buffalo than it will here.
Sweltering there in Buffalo. I don't know what Josh Allen's status is going to be. I wouldn't feel great about picking them with Keenum, but then again,
Case Keenum, not a bad quarterback.
He's not that bad.
I mean, he's been around forever. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's good enough to go in and lead Buffalo to a win.
And if there are any Case Keenum defenders or believers, they probably reside in Minnesota because he took them to the NFC Championship game.
That's right.
Your line of their due or being due is big in the NFL. The Vikings are due to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go Buffalo.
Okay.
Denver Broncos travel to Nashville, taking on the Tennessee Titans.
That was the win last week. I'll take the Titans. Henry's putting up some numbers, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Who is a wide receiver in Tennessee?
That's a really good question.
Last year they had A.J. Brown. They had Julio Jones. This year, I don't know one receiver for the Tennessee Titans.
Derek Mason.
Kevin Dyson? Is Mason still there?
Robert Wood. No.
You and I both
trying to
went
think
old
of other
school.
ones.
Robert Woods is their leading
Robert
receiver.
Woods.
Who was Steve McNair throwing to back in the day?
Yeah.
Was Mason one of those guys?
I think Mason was. Man, who was he throwing? We're missing somebody.
Yeah, sure.
We're missing somebody. I'll take Tennessee.
You will not find me picking Denver any week against anybody.
The rest of the season.
The rest of the year.
Okay.
Tennessee.
The Jaguars are in Kansas City taking on the Chiefs.
Oh, boy. I'll go Kansas City. I'm going out on the limb. Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, low-key, really good season.
Low-key. Very low. The only thing low on Monday night was his touchdown total. He only had one, even though he threw it 68 times.
Oh, my goodness. He's
Not that
having
I
a good year.
Any reason to care about that.
Of course he is. I mean, he's a stud. Is he the best quarterback in football? Or is Josh?
Yeah. Everyone kept talking about how with Tyreek Hill leaving, how maybe Mahomes is going to fall off. Maybe Tyreek Hill is not going to be the same. Both of them are having maybe their best season.
You're right. Good call. Good call. Oh, had to get a Dolphin in there, didn't he?
I sure did.
Chiefs, yeah, the Jags. Disappointing season for them.
I'll get some more Dolphins in there by talking about their game against the Cleveland Browns in Miami this week.
I'll go Miami. In Miami?
Yep.
Can the Dolphins stop a running back?
Well, if he's a quarterback that happens to run.
No.
But yeah,
Can they
the
slow
Dolphins'
Nick
defense
Chubb?
has not been very impressive recently. I'm a little worried about Nick Chubb.
I would anytime touchdown Nick Chubb in this game, but I'll go Dolphins to win.
Yeah, the Browns have lost 4 of the last 5. They did win that weird one on Halloween night against the Bengals.
Yeah.
But I love what Miami's doing offensively.
I got a parlay for you. Anytime touchdown, Chubb and Gesicki.
Not bad.
Or is it just Gesicki?
Gesicki, right?
Or is it
That's
Gesicki?
right, yep.
Oh, it's Gesicki. Okay, that good.
All right. You heard it here first. Maybe only here. I'm just kidding. People will be on Chubb for sure.
You have not heard that anywhere else in the country. I can promise you that.
Dolphins.
All right, go ahead.
New York Giants hosting the Houston Texans.
Give me the Giants. Give me the Giants. Give me the Giants.
I mean, why is it only 4.5?
I don't know. Stinky smelly.
It is.
Stinky sniffy or whatever that was.
Are the Giants really going to be 7-2? Yeah, I mean, Lovey's not going to win another game,
No,
is he?
I don't think so. I mean,
Giants.
Okay.
We got a couple of disgusting ones coming up
Yeah,
here.
we can
What
go
have we
for
been
it.
doing before?
I was going to say, what?
Well, the bar has lowered with the Saints and the Steelers from Pittsburgh.
Oh, boy.
This would have been a great Super Bowl matchup like 10 years ago.
Right, exactly. I'll go Steelers. It's about time for Kenny Pickett to have a day.
At home, yeah, in Pittsburgh.
That Steelers defense will rattle the Saints.
TJ Watt coming back?
I don't know.
I think he's close.
Okay, I'll go Steelers.
Yeah, give me the Steelers.
Okay.
I don't know why, but
Not all that confident about that pick, but
I mean, they're 2-6 versus 3-6. Steelers, we knew were going to fall off because they have bad quarterback play, and then a rookie.
Didn't they win their first game of the year?
Yeah, against the Bengals.
Against
and
the Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. If you're a Bengals fan,
Oh, and
you're
they,
like, of course they did.
They also beat the Bucks.
That makes sense. All of that makes sense. Well, they won't beat the Texans, or they will beat the Texans, I think. Or I'm sorry, not the Texans, but the Saints.
The Indianapolis Colts travel to Vegas to take on the Raiders.
Oh, wow.
Jeff Saturday's coaching debut.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I like it.
Saturday night. Oh, Saturday. Raiders.
I said I like it in the sense that I think that the Raiders
Did
can
you see
blast
Jeff
them.
Saturday's perm or whatever, his hair? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like, he's got this, like, it's like otherwise his hair would look fine, and then he takes like 2 of the curls and pulls them down on his forehead. Like, did you see that?
I didn't notice the ones pulled down. No.
I don't understand what he's doing there. I don't know what look he's going for. Just go with what you got. You don't have to pull those down. Because of that, I'm taking Vegas. Because of Jeff Saturday's hair. I do like Jeff Saturday. He was a hell of a center. And I like him as an analyst. I want him back as an analyst. So he needs to get his you-know-what kicked and say, all right, Jeff's not the coach. The coach. All right, go ahead.
The Green Bay Packers, not getting much easier. They are hosting the Dallas Cowboys at Lambeau Field.
These should have been good games. Like the Raiders and Colts going into the year, you would have thought would have been a good game.
Good call. I'm going Packers. You know what it is about everything that has gone wrong, and all of a sudden the team just like pops up, and the storyline of the day is, whoa, Green Bay, are they back?
Yep.
I think Aaron Rodgers throws for 3. I think Lazard has 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Green Bay to beat Dallas, and then Dallas will beat Philadelphia eventually on Christmas Eve.
It's that
day.
Undertaker gif, right? That you see on Twitter.
Yes.
Where he pops out of the coffin and
That's
you're like,
it.
you thought they were dead, and
This
then
is the week.
they're back. Yeah, I'll buy into that.
Okay.
Even though I'm thoroughly enjoying each and every week the Packers
I
lose.
bet you
And
are.
if they want to lose another one, I'll be
bet
here
you-
for it.
Yep, I bet you're enjoying this.
Packers really need it. Their next 3 are Cowboys, Titans, and Eagles, standing in front of 3-9 potentially. So they could really use this one.
Okay.
The Cardinals looking to finally beat Sean McVay and the Rams. They've lost 11 of the last 12.
That's great.
Hold on. Kyle did Cowboys, Titans, and Eagles as their next 3 to lose. He stopped at Bears because he assumed that would be a win.
Wow.
You thought I was going to let that slide?
Wow.
You thought I was going to let that slide, Kyle? You don't think we'll beat him?
Man, Kyle.
I'm just kidding.
That's kind of mean.
It was.
Unintentional, but maybe it shouldn't have been.
He doesn't take it back.
Rams. Cooper Kupp, 280.
Stafford's been out, right, at practice this week?
I don't know. I saw his quarterback wife meme.
Oh, yeah.
Today. Those were hilarious, by the way.
And creepy.
Very creepy. Justin Fields is a weird-looking dude. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Go.
it's fine.
Sorry.
Doesn't bother me.
I'll take Rams.
Sunday night, Chargers and 49ers from San Francisco.
Did the Chargers get right at all? Did they ever get right? But aren't they like
They're
5-4?
5-3.
I was going to say they're 5-3, and they feel like they're 2-8.
They just have not looked good doing it.
Yeah, an unimpressive game against Atlanta was their last result. They won, but it wasn't anything to be
I'll
impressed
take the
about.
Niners. I'll take the Niners. Yeah, I'm going to take the Niners. McCaffrey.
Niners, yeah. I agree.
And Monday night, the Eagles' quest for an undefeated
Fly,
season
Eagles, fly.
continues with the pesky Commanders at home.
Yeah, well, yeah, they are kind of. This is in Washington?
In Philadelphia.
Oh, in Philadelphia. I'm sorry. You said at home. Daniel Snyder, I think, is facing a lawsuit right now. I think he's done that every year he's ever been in existence. I will take.
Is that a record?
Yeah. I'll take the Eagles. They're going to fly past the Commodores or Commanders. Sorry.
Doesn't matter.
Commanders.
The Eagles will not go undefeated. They will lose a game. It wouldn't. One they probably even shouldn't lose.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't think it'll be this week.
Okay. I think I'm with you. All right, Kyle, good stuff.
That's it.
First year we've ever had Kyle Tosk rip through the NFL, and they've been the worst games ever.
I know.
I don't know if it's because of you or if it's just accidental. Why is it so much worse this year? Is it because there's just so many, you got teams that are under 500 leading divisions. Multiple, right?
Yeah.
Aren't there 2 divisions that have under 500 teams leading the division? Or maybe not.
At least one.
Atlanta, right?
Definitely Atlanta and the Bucks. And then you have just other
I guess
contenders.
The Seahawks are now 2 games above.
But they're the only team in the West that's above 500.
Yeah, that's above 500. It's just a weird, I don't know, it's weird.
It's very weird.
Really weird. All right, want to thank Luke Goody. Joined us on the Dick Van Dyke Compliance World phone line. Good stuff with Luke Goody. Tomorrow we're going to be at Pia's, so come out and enjoy that and join us. Kyle, you going to be there?
I might.
You don't have to be. You don't have to.
I'll see.
Ruin a Friday in college to come out to Pia's and join us, but you could.
I will be at State Farm Center tomorrow, but maybe I'll stop by as well.
Okay, we'll talk plenty of Illinois hoops tomorrow and more. We'll talk to you then. It is The Drive.
Saturday, March 25th, it's Cody Johnson.